Hi everyone. I just want to give you a quick tour and an update of the decorations that we've done in my craft room. The walls are this new yummy Celadon green by Martha Stewart. Isn't it pretty? And the accent colors, like this hutch, is called Blueberry Pie by Martha Stewart. So it's kind of a deep plum shade. And I absolutely love how this room turned out. So I'll give you a quick tour of some of the things that I changed. And if you want to see how I set up this room originally, I'll put the link to the episode where I did a more detailed tour in the down bar below. So right here we have this hutch. It used to be kind of a cream color and it's a laminate wood. So my husband just brushed paint on and then I sanded it off to give it that more rustic barnwood look, and I really like how that turned out. And next to it I have my vintage sewing machine, but I put my original sewing machine, the one I work on now, is in there. And underneath there we have some old suitcases that I got from my husband's brother. And the one on the right is full of ephemera for all the grandsons. So when they do their art, they just come get their ephemera case. And the other one's got some old literature in it. And then my paper shredder. And up here, I've got a lot of really vintage things and my beads and buttons and frames. And that's my favorite reader from the 12th grade. And I just altered the cover and I keep it out. And then up here, I made one of those canvas prints from the Your Paper Pantry wedding crop that we had last week, and I love how it turned out. That was really fun. I'll put the link in the down bar for that too, if you want to make one. It was really neat. And up here I've got thread and pins, and I love how Webster's Pages does their push pins. So when you're finished using them, you can still use the little foamy thing to keep your stick pins in. And these are old vintage threads that I got from my grandmother. I picked up this shelf for $2 at the dollar store. And this is my to-do list. It says wash wings, kiss boo-boo, and mend hearts. I made this a long time ago. And my yardstick and ruler there, my doula certificates and childbirth educator certificates there. On the back here I have a shoe rack or a shoe container. It's burlap. And it's just got the odd shaped punches that don't fit anywhere else. It's a great way to store your punches. Just hangs over the door. And then that's an article that was published in a magazine that I wrote about birth and just some decorations. And this is a friend of mine made this for me out of stained glass. It says Goddess of Everything. That would be me. Just kidding. Down here, I have this beautiful card table. It was my great aunt Dorothy. She lived to be 101. And it's all beat up, but if somebody comes over to craft or to do stuff in my room with me, I just set the table up and pull up a chair, and they work on that. And on the door here, my husband made this pegboard sort of storage system, and it works great. A lot of chipboard and things like that. Up there, just some more antique vintage elements and a picture that my grandson drew of me. Above there I have all my doula and childbirth education books, and in the back behind those aluminum, these pots full of stamps, is a library that some of our clients can just take out some of the books and DVDs on birth. And then here in the hutch I've got all of my stamps, and in that video that I put in the down bar I show you how I did this with the 2x4 method. You can see the 2x4 in there, and there's one there and then two there, so it staggers, so you're able to display all of your stamps, and you could at a glimpse just see which stamp you want. That's really helpful. Keep all my acrylic paints in here, and they're sorted by colors of the rainbow, starting with red and so on. My scrapbook magazine and card creations magazines there. Right here beside my table where I work, I have a basket just full of projects that I'm working on that I just don't want to forget, and I want to get to them right away, so they're in there. And then above here, I haven't found any treatment for the window yet, and at first I didn't really want anything, but I'm in the middle of a major lupus flare-up, and the sun is just the enemy, so I have to get something on this window because when the sun shines through I can't sit here. So I have my shelves from IKEA, those buckets. I love them for holding things and having things just ready, accessible to use. I put my punches on towel racks that I picked up at Walmart, just regular aluminum towel racks, and they're right handy. These are the punches I use the most. And there's my gun and my Big Bite, and then my table and my mat that just so happens to be purple, which matches the room, which is really cool. And then I'm working on this project right now. These are going to be markers for our garden, so they're color coordinated, like the orange will be for carrots and green for lettuce and so on. So I'm going to flatten them a bit and then write the name on with the permanent marker and then shellac them or varnish them and then just stick them in the ground to have for markers for garden rows. So I had a whole bunch of spoons that I didn't like anymore, and then got some scissors and pins. I love this. It's a tea mug. Of course, I've got stuff in it, but and then a pin cushion on top. And then down here I have my files for doula work, and that I'm like this is active files, that things we need to have if someone calls, they're right ready there. Up here I have boxes for cards and more books and mini books. And then those books on the right there are books that are full of, if I want some text that I want to tear out, it's those kind of books. And then this little picture here, I just put a candle in it so that I really believe if you have pretty things, you should use them and not just put them in a cupboard. So I really have that strong belief. So that's why I put a candle in that. And then I've got my grandma's sewing machine there and my great-grandma Addie's sewing basket full of buttons, and then my Cricut and the mat and my printer, and then my husband made this extra little piece of wood here for extra storage so I can put my day timer and things like that there. And in this drawer I've got the smaller Cricut, the 6-inch mat. So what I do is if I find, sometimes I'll go to the store and there'll be cardstock on sale, so I cut all the 12 by 12s in 6 by 12, so they're ready to go. That's half the battle of using your Cricut, is having your paper all ready to go. Lots of really nice trims in that drawer and just more stuff in the drawer. My room color was inspired by this cushion cover my sister picked up in China, and it's got pretty green and this pretty purple dragonflies on black, and I always sit on this and I love the colors, and I wanted to bring that into the room. Then over here, I showed you a video on how to make your own stationery. I have that handy. And this pretty box. My mom just gave me this today. It had a rosary in it. It's beautiful. And this is full of all of my tools. Like I call it my Tim Holtz box. It's got, the Tim Holtz keychains and clips and all that kind of stuff. And anything metal is in there. Above here, I've got this really cool window that I got from a very old farmhouse from this curator that works at a museum in the city. And so, again, we stained it with that black blueberry pie, and it's got the original glass in it. I want to show you what I'm going to do with it. It's on the cover of this Stampin' Up! Magazine. I'm going to add some hooks and just label them with like friend, wedding, thank you, baby, and so on, and get well cards. Make 3 by 3 cards and then hang them. See the little mini clips? And just hang them by clips. So when you're wrapping a gift and you need a gift enclosure, they'll just be hanging there. So I'm going to put the hooks on either side of the window. So again, it's form and function. I love the window and it's going to work for me. And then I found those vinyl letters. The only journey is a journey within in a sale bin for $1 because the N was missing, the side of the N. So just add a little vinyl flower on it and it looks great. And over here, more books and sewing stuff for my Big Shot, brads, all that, This is one of those vintage wash basin things. So I keep my lace on top, my twine here, some tools hanging down, flowers underneath. Over here is the picture, and it's got my knitting needles in it. And then the last thing, again, is this cupboard. And on the very top is my artist stuff. Oh, and I did that painting over there, too, of me and my daughter. So this is my new room. I just wanted to share with you how pretty and colorful it is, and I really thank my husband for doing this for me. And I thank all of you for watching, and we'll see you next time.